Hey y'all, I'm Angela Barrett, and this is Talking South Carolina. Now y'all take a load off and listen, because no matter if you just moved here, thinking about moving here, been here your whole life, or you just plain nosy, bless your heart, I'll have something for you. Like, who's living in High Cotton? Who's madder than a wet hen? Places to go if you got a hankering for fried chicken, and where you can go to get drunk as Cooter Brown. We'll talk pig pickings, cow tipping, tillions, hay rides, who's buttering whose biscuits, what's a case quarter, and lots of other stuff. So stay a while. Y'all, it's gotta be a hoot.
This episode of the Talking South Carolina podcast has been brought to you in part by HomeMattersSC.com, professional real estate services and marketing in the Midlands of South Carolina for people who want more. And now she's a realtor by day and a podcaster by night. Here's your host of the Talking South Carolina podcast, Angela Barrett.
Hey guys, today I have with me Greg Bickley, who is Tokyo Joe, our local band who's not so local anymore. Thanks, Greg, for being here.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So, Tokyo Joe, the man or the band?
The name is the band.
Right.
It's because I'm not Joe. There's really no one named Joe. It's a term. My guitar player used to play in Japan a lot. I started this band in 1992 under a different name. It's called Three Rings at the time, like a three-ring circus, because I originally had this grand idea for a three-part show with different things we were going to do, and it never developed into that, so the name didn't make any sense. And I'm terrible at thinking of band names. So I was trying to come up with something new. Meanwhile, my current guitar player had come off the road playing in another band with my dad, actually, and they would spend half the year in Japan, South Korea, doing a lot of military stuff over there. And so he's like, man, all I can think of is Tokyo Joe, because that apparently was a name for an American serviceman stationed over there after World War II. So it's just a term. And I was like, it makes no more sense than Three Rings did, but I know I liked it.
Well, that was one of my questions, is where you came up with the name, because I know there is a film back 1940-something.
Right,
like
47, I think, Humphrey Bogart.
Yeah. And there are two pro wrestlers that use the name Tokyo Joe.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
But yes, there were.
Yeah,
I was actually just in Tokyo. So
I saw that.
And I've tried to find the background of like, okay, what the term came from, and it's hard to find, but that's what I've always heard, is they would refer to somebody who was stationed over there as a Tokyo Joe.
Yeah. See, I didn't come across that one.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be way easier to just tell people it was from the movie.
That's right. Or the wrestlers, or there was even a song called Tokyo Joe.
Yeah, Brian Ferry, I believe.
Brian
did
Ferry,
that song.
yes, right.
Trust me, I've run across that quite a few times.
Now, so you guys have been, your band, Tokyo Joe, has been playing together since, you said, 1990.
96 under that name.
Oh, okay.
I mean, not all the same guys. Of course, me and the guitar player have been together that whole time, and we've had various different drummers and bass players over the years.
I gotcha. And speaking of them, so your guitarist, who you've been with the whole time, is Dale.
Correct, Dale Burgess.
And then Cale Donald, who's your bass player.
Yep.
And
he's been with us for almost 11 years, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
And then Jason Moore is your drummer.
Right.
And then I guess Anthony.
Yeah, we kind of have. Yeah, Anthony Seitler was the last name. Yeah, we kind of
use him.
Yeah, we go back and forth between one of them being the main guy and the other one being the go-to fill-in guy.
Sure.
So, yeah, Jason's basically full-time at this point.
Right. So now you guys play, I mean, from like Virginia to Florida. Have you even expanded even more than that now?
Not really, and we don't even do that as much as we used to, because it's really not cost effective to go that far. So we've usually, unless we do something like the Elton John tribute or something, I mean, we'll take that to Florida if we can go down there and do 4, 5, 6, 7 shows.
Right.
You know, but as far as just going to Daytona for a one-off show, we typically don't.
Right.
You know.
Because you guys, I mean, I know you play around here a lot, but I mean, all in all, are y'all still averaging somewhere around the 200 a year, or a little bit less now? Or
no, we backed it down because, number one, I just decided few years ago that I don't need to sing 4 days a week. I mean, it's just, you can't sing but so much, and it'll start to take a toll. So I tried to average it out to around 3.5, do 4 one week and 3 the next week kind of thing. But then during COVID, I really just kind of realized how much stuff I've missed over the years, being the guy who's always working Friday and Saturday and likely Wednesday and Thursday too. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to dial it back. I'm going to quit playing Saturdays except for occasional private events and things like that, or the big shows or whatever, and just do Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays. So we probably do more like, I think we did about 130 or 140 last year.
Yeah, I mean, that's still a lot. I mean, I guess, what do you do when you're not playing music?
Other stuff related to the band. It's literally almost all I do. If I'm not on a vacation or some type of trip, I mean, because I do everything from make sure the oil in the truck is changed, to book the dates, to put them on the website, to put together the contracts. I mean, I do all of that stuff. So it's a 24/7 thing.
And so you guys now have, like you said, a truck or a van or whatever that holds your equipment. Now, do you have guys that help you set it up? Or
Oh, no. Unfortunately not. That falls on us.
Yeah, I know.
As they always say, that's the part you get paid for.
Yeah.
You do the music part for free.
That's the fun part.
Yeah.
Now, you guys have got some awards that y'all have received over the years.
Yeah, we won Best Local Band. There were 2 different things we did. The state did it, and I don't think they have that category anymore, but we won that one a few times. We won it a lot of times in the free times, which they still do. And back when we would play like Buford a lot, we won it down there one time too. One of the CDs won Best Local CD, I think, when CDs were a thing. That'll give you an idea how long ago that's been. Which CD was that? In This Lifetime was the name of it. Yeah. And so that won Best Local CD. I think I won like Best Male Vocalist or something one time. Again, it's been a minute.
Yeah. Now, and y'all do have some released albums.
7 technically that we have hard copies of. Like we just released the new song, because now there's almost no point even doing an album. You just
do you even call them albums anymore? What are they called?
I don't know, because it's really just sort of a collection of songs, that everybody just releases individual songs anymore, which is what we just did with one that we have no hard copies of. But I wrote a song, because I grew up in Casey on a street called Sunnyside Drive, and I wrote a song about it called Days on Sunnyside that has been surprisingly well received. I didn't think anybody was going to care except me and the people who grew up in that area and related to it. I'm surprised how many people either relate to the area. They're like, oh, my aunt lived on Sunnyside, or I lived on Northland 2 streets over, or whatever. And I guess because there's a lot of detail in it, and people typically don't relate to details like my best friend Chris. Well, their best friend's not Chris, so they don't relate. But people who have their own Sunnyside, even though there might be Days on Elmwood or whatever to them. So it's really, I've been surprised. I get requests for it every single night, and it's finally out. So,
that's good.
Yeah, Days on Sunnyside. You can find it anywhere.
Yeah, I was going to say Spotify for sure.
Spotify, Pandora, YouTube, Apple Music. It's pretty much anywhere you can find music. You can just Google it and find it.
Yeah.
You can even tell Alexa and she'll find it for you.
Yeah. I don't have Alexa. We did for a little while, and then I don't know. I just decided that might be too much.
Yeah.
Now, the biggest hit song that you guys have had has been what?
Of the original stuff, obviously, It's All About Me, because everybody relates to that one.
Right. And yours personally, I guess.
My personal favorite?
Or biggest hit, whichever one falls into.
No, well, that would be the most popular. Well, I say that. It's we've got a ballad too called It Hurts. It's probably all right, honestly, here are our 3 most requested original songs ever. It's All About Me, the ballad It Hurts, which I always say is our most requested song ever. We've actually got a song called Albert that is actually our most requested song ever, but we rarely play it. It's about a ghost that our drummer at the time, many years ago, swore that he had in his house. And I had the music and no lyrics to go with it. We were getting ready to go in the studio. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to write a song about Jason's ghost, because he swears there was a short, fat, bald-headed ghost living in his house. And the way he described it, it just sounded like he should be named Albert to me. And I don't know, so I just wrote a song about his ghost. Now, seriously, that's probably been our most requested song ever. It's been around longer than some of the others, mind you.
Right. And so now what about your favorite song?
Man, that's a tough call. Of our stuff you're talking about, right?
Sure.
Man, that's a tough one. All in All, maybe? We've got a song called All in All. We've actually got a couple versions of that because we did it on our second CD. In fact, that's the title of the CD, was All in All. And then we did it with a producer on, I think, In This Lifetime. I think it's on that record. I'm trying to remember what record the songs are on now.
Right. Right. A bad problem to have when you got so many. So now, do you guys write all of your music and songs, or do you have songwriters that help you? Or
No, we do. I write it all.
You do?
Yeah. And then everybody else just adds their part. I write the song, the lyrics, the chord progression, and all that stuff. And then everybody else does their own thing to it, you know.
I gotcha. And so when did you get into music or start music?
Forever. I mean, I've seriously played drums since I was like 3 years old. My dad has audio of me on the old reel-to-reel things where he'd play piano and I would play drums along with him at 3. I started playing guitar when I was about 10. Somebody taught me my first chords, and I quit for a long period of time because, I don't know,
It wasn't cool.
Yeah, well, no, I think I decided I was just never going to be a great guitar player. I never took lessons, you know, so I never sat home and practiced anything. And I didn't even start playing piano until I was about 16. My dad was a piano player, but he very much plays by ear and has his own way of going about it. It didn't really make sense to me until I was in a chorus class in high school, and a guy that I wound up being in a band with would come in and play piano before we started, and watching him do it, I was like, oh, I get it now. This is your bass note. And it just, you know, I did take one music class at Carolina other than 3 years of chorus in high school. That's the only formal musical knowledge that I have.
Huh. So never learned, like, I mean, obviously on your own, but like you write music now. So, I mean, you had to learn the...
Yeah, but it's still done by ear a lot, you know, and music's math, really. It's all proportions. I did learn a lot in that one class at Carolina, let's put it like that. Like before that, even though I played by ear, there was a lot more figuring things out, and now I can just hear a song and know what's going on. I may not necessarily know what key it's in, but I know proportionally what they're doing just from taking that one class. Kind of makes me wish I'd taken more classes.
I think we all say that, though. Now, again, y'all play not only in some of our local clubs and local areas here, but you do play private events as well.
Oh, yeah, we do. Like I said, that's pretty much all we do on Saturdays anymore is private stuff. And, of course, when we do the big tribute shows, like the Elton John tribute and the Tom Petty tribute, we do those in theaters and
Sure.
things like that. Newberry Opera House. In fact, we're getting ready to do Rocket Man Charleston Music Hall in August. Then we're doing one at a Plaza Arts Center in Eatonton, Georgia in August. And then, of course, we got the big one in September at Ice House Amphitheater.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, one of my most favorite times that I saw you was at a private event. We were at someone's house on the lake, and it was nice not to be trampled over by all the young girls trying to get to you at the front. I was like, oh, this is nice.
It's fun to do the private stuff because usually when you're doing private stuff like that, you're playing for people who specifically want you to be there.
Sure.
You know, and I mean, that's generally the case in a bar. I mean, when we play a bar, it's people who came to see us, but sometimes you're playing to people who just happen to be there.
Sure.
You know, and you got to figure out, okay, what are these people like? Are they going to like what we do or whatever, you know?
Right. Yeah, but that was a good time because I have been trampled for people, young girls trying to get to you. Like,
well,
okay, please.
I don't remember any of those nights.
Well, this is like Liberty at the Lake, and you would have those big crowds. I mean, just huge crowds.
Oh, yeah.
And I haven't been out there in years, so I don't know these days. But now you've got a big fundraiser coming up, the Cancer Research Center.
Breast Cancer Research Foundation. Yeah, we this will be our third year doing the fundraiser. It's also at Ice House Amphitheater in Lexington. And we're trying to stick with doing it Friday before Halloween. This will be our third year doing that, so it's October 27th. It actually hasn't even been announced yet. I think we're announcing it like second week of August, and we'll put it on sale. Yeah, it has now. Well, it was going to be eventually anyway.
Right.
And it really started out because the one 2 years ago was our 25th anniversary. And I totally overlooked our 20th anniversary, which is pretty cool because a lot of bands don't hang around for 20 years.
Sure.
And I was like, we got to do something big for our 25th anniversary. And we decided I was like, let's do something in the amphitheater. And I started thinking, how can we make it special? I was like, well, we can make it a fundraiser. And then I just called some of our friends to see if they wanted to play with us, like our buddies, the Root Doctors, who were, those guys are Prettier Than Matter, our best friends, local music scene. And they were off because their keyboard player was going to play with us. I was like, would you guys be cool with coming and doing a set? I was like, and then we can maybe all jam at the end. They're like, yeah, we're in. I called Prettier Matt. They're like, yeah, we'll do it. So that's how we did it. We each do a set. And then we all get together at the end and just have a big old jam session with both drummers, the whole thing, everybody on stage at one time.
Nice.
So it's sold out every year. The first year we raised right at $48,000. Last year we did $59,000. I'm pretty sure we're going to do over 70 this year.
Yeah. And again, so tell me a little bit more about this organization that you're doing the fundraiser for.
I specifically wanted the money to go to research because everybody's aware. You hear about raising awareness. Well, everybody's aware of breast cancer. It's not like they haven't heard of it. But I wasn't aware how common it is. Honestly, it's one of those things until somebody gets it and you become very aware of it. But like 1 in 8 women in their lifetime will be diagnosed with breast cancer. And I was like, there's been so much progress made over the years. It's like, let's make more progress. Research, So I specifically wanted the money to go to research. I did my own research about what the best charities were because you want the money to be used properly and not for administrative stuff. And I found the Breast Cancer Research Foundation, which is, I think, if not the top, one of the top research foundations in the world, because like a high percentage of their money, everything they take in actually goes to research, something like 87 cents on every dollar. So it's only a tiny little bit of it that gets used up, doing business. So
that's phenomenal. And I had a mother and a mother-in-law with breast cancer.
Really?
So appreciate it. Much appreciated.
You're quite welcome.
Now, you have a sponsor that sponsors you guys kind of all year long.
Right, Maker's Mark.
Maker's Mark. But then you have a lot of sponsors who sponsor you for different events.
Correct. We do, like I say, Maker's Mark is our overall sponsor, and they take care of us and we promote, which is actually good. We work that out because I actually like the product. It wasn't just something arbitrary. And, we do stuff with them, like specifically Maker's 46, because even Bourbon Snobs like Maker's 46. Jim Beam Orange, which is my on-stage little thing, because Maker's Mark is a Jim Beam product.
All right, so let's talk about one of your biggest shows, if not your biggest show of the year, because I have lots of questions about this.
Okay.
Rocket Man.
Right.
And it is a tribute to Elton John. So now, how did you come up with that? I have lots of questions. How did you come up with it? What was your inspiration and why and all that good stuff?
I always wanted to do it. All right. So going back to the 3 Rings thing I was talking about, where we had this grand idea for a 3-part show, that was going to be one of the 3 parts, going all the way back to 1992. It took a lot of time to put it together because I did not want to do it halfway. If I was going to do it, I want to do it right. I do not look anything like Elton John. So I didn't even know that it was doable really until I went to see some guys do it. And I was like, some guys doing Elton John, Billy Joel face to face. I was like, these guys, especially the Billy Joel dude, doesn't look anything like Billy Joel. I was like, if I get the exact same costumes, duplicates of things that he wore, nobody's going to care. You're so covered up, it doesn't matter. Okay,
right.
You're too tall, big deal, So that's how we just decided to do it. We finally just committed to going for it, which was fairly big investment because I had to buy a great big old grand piano shell.
Oh, geez.
So I was like, if we're doing this, we're doing this. I'm in now. And I don't know, I just like the music. It's weird because I did not even grow up an Elton John fan. I found out I was an Elton John fan completely on accident. I never was somebody to buy records of artists. Like however many times I heard it on the radio, that was good enough for me. Once I learned to play it myself, then that was the thing. And all these individual songs I loved, I didn't realize they were all Elton John because they all sound different. And one day I bought his greatest hits because I knew one song. And it started playing. I was like, I know all these songs. These are all those songs I loved and didn't know who did them. So it all came about kind of totally on accident. And then for years I'd have people go, man, when you sing Elton John songs, you sound just like him, blah, blah, this and that. I was like, maybe I can do this, you know. Yeah. And then for the people who don't know, for, 12, 13 years, his old drummer, Charlie Morgan's been the guy playing drums with us in that show, which also came about completely by accident. He was my favorite drummer on the planet in the mid-'90s when he was playing with Elton. And just so happens he lives in Nashville, and we wound up having a bit of a connection, and I got in touch with him and sent him some videos, and so now we're just old buddies, and he plays with us all the time. So.
Oh, well, that's good. Now, does he still play with y'all with those shows?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
good.
He'll be at Ice House in September. He'll be at Charleston Music Hall August 18th, Eaton in Georgia August 19th, whatever those dates are. I think that's right.
Yeah, September 8th, I know, here at the Ice House. But, and I'm sorry, guys, that's sold out. So if you don't have your tickets, I apologize. But, you know.
There's always next year.
There's always that. Well,
and there's always Charleston, too. There are tickets available. CharlestonMusicHall.com. It's on Ticketmaster, but I don't know exactly how to tell you to get there.
Right. And the best way to make sure you don't miss it, again, is follow the Facebook or Instagram. Right. You got your webpage, Tokyo Joe.
What I always tell people to do is search for Tokyo Joe Band, because I do occasionally get a message for the Tokyo Joe restaurant. I'm serious, somebody will message me like complaining that their teriyaki chicken wasn't hot enough or something like that. And it's not frequent, but it happens. So anyway, yes,
hilarious.
If you search, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook for Tokyo Joe Band, you'll find us. And the regular website is tokyojoe.net. And there's always a calendar on there, usually, I think it's up through October right now.
Yeah. It was several months in advance as of this morning anyway. Now, so have you ever met Elton John?
I have not, which is weird because it seems like everybody else I know has. I've had people I've seen him like 5 times in Vegas, and I've had people run into him on an elevator and stuff like that. And I'm the only one who hasn't for some reason or other.
Yeah, well, you'll have to make sure the drummer that used to play, has he sent him any of the stuff so they can
We
see?
actually sent him a happy birthday thing. We were playing a Rocket Man show in Florida, I think it was last year on his birthday, and we had the whole crowd sing happy birthday to him, and Charlie videoed it.
Nice.
I don't think he sent it to him directly, he sent it to Davey Johnson, his guitar player, because they still talk a lot. So.
Right. Now, what about the costumes? Where did you find all of that?
I had a couple of them made at a place in Charleston, and ever since it's been a place up in Greenville called Costume Curio that makes them, because I was just looking for somewhere that did custom costumes, and at the time I couldn't find anybody around here. There may be somebody now. There was a place in Charleston that did a couple, the very first couple, and then the people up in Greenville just do really good work, and they're easy to deal with. So. Yeah,
well, they're fantastic. It's a lot of fun, and I'm really, really excited.
Good deal.
Now, the Rocket Man is not the only show you've done. I don't know if you still do it, but there used to be a different show.
We do a Tom Petty tribute also.
Tom Petty, okay.
Called The Best of Everything, which is a great Tom Petty song, by the way. I did not know that. When we were looking for titles, we ran across that song name. I was like, I wonder if the song's any good. So we do it in every show. It's like, man, that's a great song.
Yeah.
So, and that one's way easier because I look a lot more like Tom Petty than Elton John. All I got to do is throw on a wig and I'm golden.
Right. And now you've already had the Tom Petty tribute this year, at least at the Ice House.
We did it back in May. We usually do it in the spring and Rocket Man in the fall has kind of been the pattern so far.
I gotcha.
The Tom Petty's relatively new because we debuted it at the fair the first time right before COVID. Then, of course, we didn't get to do it for 2 years or something. You know.
So I guess the next big thing you have is your shows here would be Rocket Man, the big things. I know you've got your local stuff that you still do, but and then you'll have the breast cancer research.
And we got another thing coming up in October, but I can't talk about it yet. Keep an eye on the website. Keep an eye on the social media, and you'll know what's going on.
Okay.
And hold open October 12th. It's a Thursday.
Something October 12th.
Yeah.
All right.
I've got to wait on them to announce it. I can't announce it yet.
Sure. Well, I certainly appreciate you taking time out of your very, very busy week.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
This is great.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Talking South Carolina podcast. Why not check out our website at talkingsouthcarolina.com and follow us on social media. You can subscribe to the show on Spotify, YouTube Music, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and on your favorite podcast apps. For information about being a sponsor on the show and on the website, contact us at area code 803-386-9885 or email us at angela@talkingsouthcarolina.com. This episode has been brought to you by the friendly folks at Giraffe Marketing. Find out more at giraffemarketingllc.com.
I'm gonna be the best version of me. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, roar like a